including your 5th year at the helm as Director of Athletics at UCSB. And let's start with the thing that you are most proud of with what you and your department have accomplished since you took over.
I'd say the proudest moment is where we stand academically with this campus. This last year, we achieved 85% graduation rate of our student athletes, and that is second highest of all the UCs, and only Davis is a point higher than us. That's risen in the last 3 years, 4 years, and we've made a definite focus. So our student services and academic services area downstairs, Kayla Smith and Larry James and Diane O'Brien, I give a lot of credit to them, and Jan Ingham, our faculty athletic rep. So it's a total team effort with the campus, but that I'm really proud of that number, and we want to be number one. I know whatever Davis is doing, we're going to try to catch them. That means we're higher than UCLA and Cal, who are great anyway. We're about 4 points higher than the national average, which is 82%, and we graduate actually 6% more than the campus does at 78%. And I don't want to say that the campus doesn't do a great job anyway. They do. This campus is in it academically in areas that are going to change the world. But our student athletes come in here and compete with the best students in the country, and they succeed at a higher level than the campus does, and that's because we take ownership of them as a campus, and they're going to succeed. So the academic side is one of my proud. If you're going to ask me what my proudest moment or what our proudest moment is collectively as an athletic department, it would be that stat right there. Kathy Gregory decided to retire, and that was tough on me a little bit because
she's a legend.
Yeah, well, I remember years ago I said, not on my watch. I want the next AD to have to deal with this.
Right.
And she came to a point this last year where she said, you know what, that was a heck of a career. But you know what, she's got so much energy, and after 38 years, I thought what she did was a classy move, and she's so proud of what she built. I thought what she did well was pay tribute to the generation before her. So we want to celebrate that this next year. So moving into the 2013 year with Nicole Lantagne Welch as our new coach, and her whole staff and all the new exciting things she's going to be bringing to the table. We're going to celebrate our whole history of women's volleyball, starting with the Pioneer program, which is kind of the years before Kathy, the years before Title IX, right up to Title IX in 73, 74. And then we're going to celebrate some of Kathy's great teams, and the Judy Blamos and the Roberta Gelkes, and then up until her more recent team. So we'll probably have about 4 or 5 nights of celebration. So her retirement will last the whole season. And that we want to really take off with Nicole's program. And then I got a call from one of my really good friends who's the athletic director of Miami, and said, so you got a job opening? I said, yeah, I made national headlines. He said, I hate to tell you this, my coach wants to talk to you guys. And I immediately said, you guys are really, really good. Why? I mean, really, why? And he said, she's from there. But a lot of those schools, you'll lock up a coach. And so they locked her up. She could not go to any other schools. But when she negotiated the contract 6 years ago, she carved out 2 schools, and we were one of them.
Okay, because of her ties here and also what Kathy had done.
Exactly. So it's a place she wants to live, a place she wants to do her life work, and she wants to win. She's competitive like that. She brought a great assistant in Colby O'Donnell out here from Miami. He was at Miami with them, and he's her top assistant. She's added Chris, who's going to be her third assistant, or second assistant, and help with sand volleyball eventually with Kathy when we get going with that. And so I'm really excited about that.
Every one of these hires, it seems like, Mark, has a great story. Andrew Checketts, who was a pitching coach at the University of Oregon, and who's renowned nationally for his knowledge of pitching, working with young pitchers, making them better, and attracting young, great pitchers out of high school and junior colleges. Well, he decides to kind of make it a business trip to come down and see you also. So there's a great story there. There's a great story with Carlene coming from that Rutgers program after 10 seasons. And there's a great story with Simone. I mean, here you're at Fresno State. The WAC is a formidable conference. It's a highly respected conference. He wins 6 Coach of the Year awards in 9 seasons. He wants to come here.
Yeah, I'm really excited about what women's tennis did in his first year. And Simone took our job, and his visa, somebody has to sponsor his visa. We sponsor his visa. He's from Quebec. And Fresno State, there was a lapse where Fresno State said, okay, great, you're not coaching anymore. And they stopped his visa, and we were just starting to sponsor. Well, he went out of the country to come back, and his visa wasn't processed. So he spent all summer out of the country. So we just got with the girls, with the young ladies in the fall. And so he didn't have those 4 months, 4 months of lead in during the summer and work with them. So they're in a great spot in the program. They're learning so much. I see the drive in them. I'm really excited about that in their first year. Diana and I kind of giggle a little bit when we see them win again and win again. That's been one with the coaches where I wish we could get a big TV contract or something like that where I could increase everybody's budget from scholarships to operations to more money for staff. But it's not. So we have to ask our great donors and our sponsors to fill that gap of what we need to be competitive. And the Gaucho Fund's been one of our success stories, and Living Scholar Program has been a wonderful thing for us and our student athletes and our donors. So we went through a tough time the last 3 years with the recession and the housing market, and that hit us and hit the UC and hit the state very hard. And we did not have a discussion on campus about putting any sports, reducing our roster size of sports. Not one discussion.
Mark, let's talk about the Big West Conference as UCSB moves forward, as the conference moves forward. The conference was dealt an unfortunate blow with San Diego State and Boise State deciding that they would stay in the Mountain West Conference once the Mountain West got its act together as it related to football and whatnot. But I see the Big West going on and moving forward.
We get a nice parting gift. They'll pay $3 million to the conference. Each will pay $1.5 million. Boise's already paid it, and San Diego State's paying it over time. So each school will get $300 and something thousand as a parting gift. And we're earmarking that as a conference, athletic directors, and hopefully the presidents and chancellors okay this. We're earmarking that for basketball improvements. So we'll take that money and probably put it right into the Thunderdome and do a few things in the Thunderdome from a facility standpoint. For us to refocus ourselves as a conference, and that's what this San Diego State move did, was every decision we need to do is in a prism of getting men's basketball better and better now. I'm excited about what men's basketball is doing with their scheduling and their recruiting. And then, like next year, we have LSU coming to the Thunderdome, and we're going to play Cal at the Thunderdome. We're on the road at Utah State, we're on the road at UCLA, and we're on the road at UNLV. And some of those are returned, some of those aren't. But I like how Bob's doing that. I like how he's going about things. He's not scared to schedule people. I really respect that about Bob right now.
Tell us about the Thunderdome.
Well, it's got a great field house, basketball field house feel to it. And no, I'm excited about it. We're celebrating the 35th anniversary this year. We made it a 2-year celebration to make sure we got all the great moments and players and coaches into it over 2 years. We couldn't just do it in one. But the real reason we did that, besides telling our history and honoring some great legends, with tributes like Legends of the Dome, with Lou Day going in this past year, how about that one? Was to try to address more fixes, improvements with our donors, our great donors, who love that place, and our camp, and going at it with, hey, we need to fix the Thunderdome, which we all share, and ask our students and our donors to be part of future improvements is what we've been doing lately. So about this time next year it'll be done, or maybe right after the season it'll be done. And it all started because we had a gift from Al Rodriguez and United Paving to start the project a little under 2 years ago. And he committed that to our program and Coach Checkits now. And so that started the campus process. So the campus process is a little bit longer than it should be, but I've been happy about that because it's been able to us to add a few things. We're now talking about, we have bathrooms, and one that'll be for little kids and for adults. Recreation's helping us out. They're going to put a nice fence in between the two, so you can go to the cross field and cross over into the park. So it's about $1.5 million. And the Foresters will play there too during the summer, so it'll be one of those right around the Forester season this time next year, not this year, but next year. You'll see it take shape. Taking our time a little bit more has given us a chance to add this history wall, this tribute wall. You'll see that if you walk in there. I want to make sure we tell our story in all of our videos, why it's called Caesar Soccer Stadium, the great man that Caesar was, and what he meant. Yeah, and honestly, Jerry, if we would have done this a year ago, we wouldn't have had that piece to it. But we're going to create something called the Local Rewards Program, where we capture all those students and sign them up for that first match at soccer every year, which will be September 27th against Stanford. Tim's agreed to play a premier game the first week of class, which is where we set all the records. So we're going to capture them all. We're going to ask them to be part of the Local Rewards Program. And if they do join it, they will get so many gifts, treats, redeemable prizes that they'll come to Northridge and they'll look up to see if we're good or if we're winning. We're still going to have a place for the Gaucho Locos, but this way we'll be able to fund buses to all the games, free t-shirts, free stuff for everyone, and that's in lieu of us ever charging for students. So we're going to work it backwards. We're going to try to sign everybody up for the Local Rewards Program by coming to that first match, and then if we get a good number, and we're thinking 8,000 out of the 10,000 that might come that night, we'll have so many funds to just go crazy on giving them stuff and prizes and rewards. So I want them at tennis matches. I want them at women's volleyball matches.
Baseball?
I want them at men's basketball. I want them at baseball too. So you might get 15 locals in their gold shirt that day just because they came to get redeemable points to win an iPad.
Sure.
And if they do, so be it. They're going to fall in love with our baseball program.
Exactly. Then it becomes the next in thing.